Hello, friends. I'm your host, Dave Layton, and welcome to Signs of Our Time, discovering America's heritage, one sign at a time. This podcast is designed to provide the story behind the story found on America's roadside historical signs. In this episode, I look at the strange story behind the story of the Baby Head Cemetery. An iconic image of the American West are ghost towns. These old West towns grew out of the westward expansion of America and dot the landscape throughout many of the western states. Many of these towns started as boom towns based on mining of various minerals and oil. Once the minerals and oil played out, so too did the population as they moved on to other opportunities to strike it rich. Others started as way stations or army forts to protect settlers and give them an opportunity to resupply as they continued their westward trek. It is estimated that there are between 3,800 to 4,500 ghost towns in America, primarily in the West. Perhaps one of the strangest ghost towns in Texas is now marked only by a cemetery with a ghostly name. It's the Baby Head Cemetery, located on Highway 16, approximately 10 miles from the Texas Hill Country city of Llano. Now, my apologies to our Texas friends if I'm mispronouncing the name of the city. Nothing remains of the once thriving town of Baby Head. The historical marker that's located there tells a version of the story. The true story is obscured by history and has grown as it has aged. As the story goes, sometime in the mid-1800s, a young girl was kidnapped and killed by Native Americans in the area as an attempt to scare the encroaching settlers away. Her head was supposedly found on a stake close to a mountain in the area. The mountain became known as Baby Head Mountain. A community known as Baby Head grew up around the area. It eventually had a post office, school, courthouse, several businesses, and of course, the cemetery. As you can imagine, the name conjures up all kinds of ghost stories. Visitors and locals in the area report unusual occurrences, such as feelings of being watched, unusual and unexplained noises, and of course, sightings of phantom figures. The cemetery remains active today. There are several graves marking the remains of early settlers and, of course, children. The oldest documented grave is for a child. Her name is Jody Mae McNeely. She died on New Year's Day, 1884. The latest dated grave marker is from 2000. A common sight are baby doll heads and hands on the gravestones. This only adds to the eerie atmosphere. Some have even seen pennies placed on grave markers. This is a traditional way of expressing sorrow for the loss of someone. By 1968, there were only 20 residents remaining in the community. It soon became absorbed in the greater Llano, Texas area. In 2019, the cemetery was listed as Texas cemeteries considered to be haunted. But the only way to prove it is to visit the cemetery on a dark, moonless night. I want to give a shout out for my friend Chris Woolsey. Chris travels throughout Texas restoring and repairing historical markers. He recently did a feature of the Baby Head historical marker on his YouTube channel, Chris Restores Texas. I encourage you to check out this fascinating videos documenting the markers as he works on them. I also had Chris as a guest on this podcast channel. You can learn about what Chris does by listening to episode number 23. Thanks, Chris. Well, friends, there you have it. A story behind the story from America's historical signs and markers. I hope you enjoyed this episode. I invite you to subscribe and continue listening as we bring more episodes about the rich heritage of our great nation. Please share this podcast with others. If you have interesting stories about historical signs and markers, email me at americanhistoricalmarkers@gmail.com. That's americanhistoricalmarkers@gmail.com. Maybe your story behind the story will be featured. I'm your host, Dave Layton, and thank you for listening and safe travels.